Hello, everyone, and welcome to Padawan Unlimited, a Star Wars Unlimited trading card game podcast. I am Gil, joined by my lovely co-hosts,
Gorgeous.
Rob and Corey. How are you guys doing?
Ahoy! Thank you for the
Yeah.
compliments.
Hello
Love
there,
it.
people.
I guess I should say handsome. I don't know if it's too feminine to say lovely. Not that I guess it matters, because it's still good descriptive words, right? Adjectives? Is that the...
I mean, it's 2025, right? So
Okay. So today, our main topic is going to be, I think, a little deeper than usual. It's still going to have a competitive slant to it, but we'll get to that in a moment. But before we even get to the segment for collection and then meta, I just want to give a couple shout outs to some people out there. Some of them I met in person. So this last weekend, I went to a planetary qualifier in, I guess, upstate New York. No, not New York, Connecticut.
yeah.
So, tabletop gaming, and I met some listeners, actually, and they mentioned you, they actually mentioned you guys. They were wondering where you guys were. So, I mean, I said that you weren't available, but people were asking about you. So, I want to give a shout out to one of the listeners, Tim. He actually collected the bounty. He pulled.
Good job, Tim.
Yeah, good job, Tim. He pulled an evacuate holographic evacuate legendary out of the pile.
Nice.
So he also got the card back, which again, if anyone doesn't know what it looks like, it's literally the Padawan Unlimited logo on the back of a card sleeve. And so I've been giving them away whenever people come up to me. I have this raffle thing with like cards, pick one, and you can put a base on it, and then I think that's that's a cool sleeve. Also shout out to Will. I don't know if he's actually listening. He was like just gotten to the game like a month ago, and we went 4-3 in this tournament, which is really cool. He was playing a Boba Yellow deck, and we ended up talking about breakers and stuff, which no one. I mean, for those of you who are new, breakers are like the tiebreakers for placements within a tournament. And he was going through the statistics, and it went over my head. I mean, he was so enthusiastic, and I was like following a lot of it, but like it makes me think about all the math that needs to go into it, like within a tournament. To be able to place properly, like you want a 2-0, you want your opponents who you beat to go 2-1, stuff like that. So that was pretty cool. Maybe we'll do a video on that or talk about statistics for a future episode.
Numbers,
man.
Gotta get numbers guy on for that.
I didn't say get numbers guy on.
Yeah. For those who don't know who numbers guy is, his name is Philip. He is a McClunky gaming team member. So join the McClunky Discord if you can. I'll probably put the link in the description. But he has done really, really well on PQs. He has his day 2 buy for Galactic, so he's a really top-notch player, one of the best Han 1 players out there. And then finally, a shout out to Death Rebel 3165. He gave a comment about a deck and like shared the list with us. It was a Wedge Nabbit Village deck. It was spicy. It was interesting. I played some games. I played some games on it. I just don't think I know how to hit that deck yet. I mean, especially with the entire pilot mechanic, like what he's trying to do. But maybe we'll do like a deck review too about it. So anyway, shout out Death Rebel. I enjoyed it. I didn't enjoy losing, but I did enjoy building it and like playing the deck. I think that Wedge is actually a sneaky good leader that has some legs. Especially with the pilot ability.
Cool, definitely in like sealed and the drafting that we've done with him. He's always been interesting and when he gets rolling, it's hard to stop.
Yeah, it for him, it's like the big plays that turn to dilapidated ski speeder with bigs, because you can play it for 3 and then you activate his ability and play bigs for free on top of that. So it gains grit. It comes in damaged with 3 and then it gains 2-1 from bigs.
Yeah.
So it starts to swing like a monster.
I've played against that deck. It is scary when you see a turn to like 8, 12, however many damage it can do. It's crazy. But this one is the yellow version, so I'm interested to see. And that's probably why the lines.
But you can't. Yeah, so you couldn't use bigs.
Can't do it. Yeah, the lines were a little weird for me, and that's probably what it was. Like I still need to figure out that deck a little bit more. Anyway, it was a fun deck. I do like the idea of like piloting early. You could get some cheaper pilots out.
Right.
Just gotta figure it out. So anyway,
always sneaking stuff in before their curve is always good. So
yeah, or that extra resource to be able to get the action economy later on in the game is pretty sweet. Okay, so anyway, that's it for the shout outs. Again, all you listeners out there, really appreciate you always. If you ever see us, please feel free to say. I mean, I'm speaking on behalf of Rob and Corey. I don't know if they actually want you to say hi to them. I would assume
Don't come up to us and say hi.
Yeah, if I'm at an event, sure.
Make at the grocery store. That'd be funny.
Yeah.
Okay, so it is actually pretty late tonight, so we'll not go like a full 45, almost to an hour, but we'll probably try to cut it short.
Say this.
We say this and we'll do it.
Let's see how we go. Let's see.
I'm so tired. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's go on to the collection segment. And one day I think I'll think of like a music intro to each of these segments, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So what's on your mind, Corey? What do we got?
Well, collection-wise, I know you were excited about a few things that you've acquired, and I'd love for you to show us what you've got because it's exciting. I'm so jealous because I haven't gotten to go to any of the regional or sectors, and I won't be able to go to the regional in Minnesota. So
Yep.
I have to live vicariously through you, Gil, and get those event exclusives. But I do want to talk about the Droid Con exclusives that was released. They last year was the year of the dark side, and so we got con exclusive dark side cards. And Gil and Padawan Unlimited podcast, we're going to be giving one of those away exclusively.
Soonish, yeah.
So like once we hit 500 subscribers, I believe.
Yeah, 500
But
subscribers on the YouTube is when we'll give it away.
Yeah. So this year for 2025, they've decided to reveal that the theme this year is droids. So we're getting 6 droid cards, just like we got 6 dark side cards, and 2 of them are from not even Legends of the Force, but 2 of them are from Secrets of Power, which is pretty cool. So we get an R2 that's in Secrets of Power, as well as another droid, which is I can't think of it off the top of my head.
It's C-3PO, right?
No, Chopper? The 4-1 Chopper?
Chopper, thank you. Chopper and
4-1
C-3PO.
Chopper.
Yes, Chopper and 3CPO.
And
Those
there's
are the 2.
BD.
And then BD which is the Jedi Survivor, right?
Yeah, but so is it 2 from Legends of the Force then? Because BD is definitely in Legends of the Force.
Yeah, he's in Legends of the Force, but the other 2 are Secrets of Power, I believe.
Yeah, that you can't play until the set comes out. You just have these cards.
Which not even in July. We're gonna wait till the next set in
November-ish.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
So, very exciting. I'm curious what you guys think about the designs because I think they're cool. Because this is not cards we're ever gonna play with. I would say,
right?
They're kind of like blueprints of the blueprint-esque designs of the droids, right?
So for me, I was a little bit I think that just start by saying I think the designs are great. I think that it's really really cool, interesting. I was a little bit underwhelmed because in the first. Though overall though, because in the first con exclusive box, all those cards for the most part were playable. Maybe Asajj wasn't, right? But all those other cards had some application, and you would be you could play with them. So there was a desire to get a play set and put those cards into things. I think with this one, I'll probably I don't know. Maybe I'll get one. Just so I have.
But the collector in me, I'm
absolutely. But I'm not gonna be so focused on trying to get all 3.
Set.
Exactly, because it's just I think it's a cool they're a cool concept, but I don't know if I'm never gonna play with the cards. I mean, because it's 3 of them are pilots. It's the maybe the R2 pilot. Maybe you might play with.
C-3PO looks really good. But that's Secrets of Power. So
but where I'm going with this is I felt like they weren't in the Secrets of Power, or sorry, in the Dark Side set. It's you got 3 legendaries. You got Kylo, you got Maul, and you got
Vader.
Set 1 Vader.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think 3 of these are legendary.
No, Maul would be legendary. We just figured he'd be legendary because all these are labeled as special.
The S, yeah, but if you look at the natural quote unquote rarity of the cards, they're all going to be, I think maybe the L3 is a rare. I think that's it. Maybe C-3PO or Chopper will be legendary in Secrets of Power, but
I'm not.
you know.
Yeah, I'm not too fussed about the legendary or the rating. I guess like the rarity.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, for me, I'm definitely gonna try every time because I want to show it off. Like those
Oh yeah.
Oh,
cards,
definitely.
those
Oh, they
colors
look great.
look freaking yeah. They look freaking amazing. The blueprint thing going on. If
Mhm.
they weren't pricey, I'd probably stick them on a wall. Like actually,
Yeah,
you know what I
no,
mean?
I would say like it would be cool to frame them and stuff like that. So,
Yeah, those look like really cool like trading cards, like
mhm.
Yeah,
actual
agreed.
trading
Agreed.
cards. You know,
Yeah,
so.
cool. But yeah,
It's
Gil, what do you got there? Because I'm
Oh
I'm excited to see what you acquired.
no, so the first thing I acquired was a Gore champion card. Um, so the story behind this Gore is that I was playing Getsu, who is someone who's been on the podcast before, and we had a store showdown. And it was just us two, and we decided to split it, the pricing. This was before the ban on that, so this was legit. We it was for a local store, and we decided to split it, and he was going to sell the card. He was unable to sell it for this long period of time, and I was like, "Can I just have it? Can I buy out your half?" And so I did, but at the end of the day, even though I didn't earn it at that tournament, what we played was he was playing Bosk Blue, and I was playing Han One Yellow. And so I feel like I was favored in that matchup, which I think I should. But then also, like literally, like the next week, we went to a planetary qualifier together, and we practiced the night before, and I beat him in his best of 3 with those same decks. So like I kind of earned it. So anyway, so I have I have my champion card for Gore,
Nice.
and then the other one that I got for the collection was actually the Kylo Ren like promo
Sectors.
from the sector qualifier. It's kind of hard to see. I know, and if you're listening, you can't see what I'm talking about. But the Kylo Ren is the day 2 card. It is a very vibrant or dark. I don't know how to explain it. Like dark, vibrant red,
Okay.
with some black,
The
and
black border
black
is real
borders,
cool.
silver
Yeah.
lining, and it's embossed. So like there's like a lift
Oh,
to the
nice.
card itself. So it goes well with the Obi-Wan that I had. And also I did procure this Kylo from Getsu as well. So it's still in the family.
Nice.
Even though these are the two together, and hopefully I get to earn. Hopefully I'll earn the Ray at the regional qualifiers because that card looks really good too. Anyway,
Yeah,
that's my
that's
collection.
awesome. Cool. Well, I don't know. Did you want to do some spoilers here in this collection segment? Because
Yeah.
they dropped a
God, they dropped so
ton
many.
of spoilers. My goodness. I don't know if we need to go through all of them, but I do want to highlight the fact that they dropped the Knights of the Old Republic cards, and like almost all of them.
Revan.
It's like what we
All
talked about a little bit, and it's like yeah, was Revan coming? We thought it was coming, and there is Darth Revan as a leader, which is mono black.
yeah.
Shame he's garbage.
Yeah.
Mono black. That's interesting. Like we haven't had a leader that's been a mono color before like that. I'm very excited to see what people do because obviously, as of now, without seeing all the other cards, because we do get support from them later, but it's like, how are you going to build a deck with with this?
You have two
and
colors
make it
because
viable?
whatever your base is.
Yeah,
So,
two
yeah,
colors.
so-
Like every other deck is 3 colors.
Unless
Unless-
you're running Hera, Lake Country, then it's
No,
2.
I'm just saying. I know, or if you want to do Lake Country Revan, it's like now you're going one
You just
color,
go
mono black completely.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
You know what? His showcase
It's
is
gonna be gorgeous.
It's gonna be. I mean, hopes,
I'm so. Oh
hopefully
my
it's,
gosh.
that's not. It's not a face. It's a mask. So it's gonna look good, right?
Yeah.
Well, look at Kylo, right? Kylo's showcase is one of is if not the best showcase, right?
Yeah.
And so absolutely, it's gotta
Yeah.
hit, man. It's gotta hit.
No. It's going to. I just like I said, I'm just disappointed because I'm not convinced with his leader abilities. Like maybe I'm gonna be proven wrong. I'm proven wrong plenty of times, but like it just feels like for those of you who haven't seen it yet, his leader side ability before he flips is when a friendly unit attacks and defeats a unit, you may exhaust this leader, and if you do, give an experience token to that friendly unit. So you have to like throw attacks at things to kill them to get a +1/+1.
Yeah,
And then on the other side, he flips on 5. He's a 3/6, restore 1, which isn't terrible actually, in particularly in villainous. But it's the same ability now. It's just ongoing. So when a friendly unit attacks and defeats a unit, you may give an experience token to that friendly unit. So like with units that have overwhelm, it won't be too bad. And if he gets a lot of overwhelm support, he could be interesting. But it feels like you'd just rather attack base.
yeah.
I don't know.
It seems like you're incentivized to do overwhelm. It's too combo-y in my opinion.
Yeah.
But they did share all 15 Legends cards. Legends being like non-canonical
Extended
Non-canon.
universe. Yes.
Yeah, and they're all from like Knights of the Old Republic. But they did the. I feel like they did the light side dirty. Like where's all the light side people? Where you talked about Bastille last week, and I was like, where's this leader? I don't know. You have the droids. You have Malek.
Well, that's the thing. It's like I guess we're not getting them still a leader or unit or.
That's it. No, they said
maybe they'll be in Secrets of Power.
Yeah, they said it was 15 cards, right?
Yeah, 15,
total?
and they shared all 15. They had like some the Jedi Counselor, Jedi Guardian, whatever. They had all those other units. I was like, okay, but where's like, where are the iconic characters? I want them.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, the two that we did get that are pretty iconic was Darth Malek, right?
Yeah.
Which his is interesting.
Because it's any Sith, right?
As a lead, if you control a leader, right? So his ability is he's a 5-cost mono black 4/7 with overwhelm, and when played, if you control a Sith leader, so you have to have the Sith leader deployed already as a unit. You may ready this. You may ready Malek essentially.
So he comes in ready.
He comes in ready, and then you also had HK47, and HK47 is a legendary, which is amazing because I mean, come on, it's HK47. He's got to be legendary. He's legendary. I love that. He's a 2-cost red black and 2/4. When the enemy unit is defeated, deal 1 damage to controller's base. So he could scale real high, right?
Yeah.
So that's interesting to see how he comes out. Turn 1 play there. You might not even want to play him turn 1, but like it's
even later. He's useful pretty much whenever you play him. The one that I saw aside from HK, because HK does look really good. Liberated by Darkness. It's just better. What do you call it? Not two sides.
What are you trying to say?
I had to think of it.
Wait.
Better change of heart.
Okay.
Oh yeah, right. But this one's just black though. This is just villain. As Gil was alluding to. Well, right. Sorry. Change of heart is a yellow. It's just mono yellow. This is yellow black. So again, given the side
yellow and more tools.
But
and
also
for those
the
of you who
villain,
don't know,
no hero.
Yeah. For those of you who don't know, change of heart is a 7-cost. You choose any
6
non-leader. 6? I thought it was 7.
Change of heart.
Oh no, it's 7 because
you want to play at 7 with Palpatine.
Yeah, you want to play at 7 with Palpatine. Yeah, so it's a 6-cost. Take control of any unit, non-leader unit, and you have to give it back at the end of the turn. Liberated by Darkness is now just a 5-cost, and you get to, as long as you have a force, you get to take care of. You get to take control of any unit. There's going to be so many force units that it's just a cheaper change of heart.
Well, it's a force token, right? If you
it's a force token.
Use the force. You got to spend the force token.
So
you take a force unit and then attack and get it back.
Yeah, I was surprised we just got generic Jedi, generic. I was like generic. What?
So I'm saying they didn't do it right. I mean, come on, really? Like this is how I'm not usually a Debbie Downer in this sense, but like I knew it. They were not gonna like go all out. Like they might have done some fan service with Revan, but then like they ignored everyone else. Except for like the dark side, they don't do. Why do they like the dark side so much and cunning? Like this is like the designer's like thing.
What's crazy is the heroes that are winning all these tournaments though are actual hero. Like they're white leaders, right? You got Sabine's winning. We got Quinlan's winning.
You got Kira. You got Kira.
Yeah.
Fair. Recently, Anakin's get right up there, but yeah.
Sorry.
Also,
do you want to shout out to something else, Gil? Another.
I was gonna say speculation here. I mean, do you think we're gonna get a villainous Anakin in this one? Like Anakin just before he turns?
No, they're not creative enough. They're not creative enough for that.
Yeah.
You could.
I want to get the youngling as a.
You know what? I
as a-
was wrong about Knights of the Old Republic.
Yeah.
So I mean,
They went full on KOTOR, so
yeah, don't trust me. We might have to cut out this part of the segment because my computer got all messed up. But well, this last like minute or so. I two spoilers, I guess, real quickly that I really like is Luke Skywalker, a new Luke Skywalker that came out, that's just heroism, which is for 4 costs, 3 attack, 5 power. When you play another unique unit, so unique unit has a little diamond that goes next to it. It's like Sabine Wren is a unique unit, and they have like a little title underneath it. You can add a experience and shield token to Luke, which is
that's crazy.
Donkulous.
He's gonna turn into a monster.
Yeah. So and then
don't kill him.
And then you add the other one that I was like really a fan of because I'm just a Rebels fan is Ezra Bridger.
Yeah.
It's a 3/3/5. Okay. And he has an on attack ability that you can give an experience token to another creature or Spectre unit. So it's only really useful for like the Heradex, I guess, because you want Spectre. But he has Force, Jedi, Rebel, Spectre. He is like a cracked card. Like that stat line is so good. All those
he's only uncommon too.
All those, which is great for like drafts and stuff, right? But like his on attack is, I mean, you only get an experience token to your creature or Spectre, but like,
Sabine is a Spectre.
Yeah, I know, right? And
the thing is, like, all these cards, they're stickier. They're adding more health to a lot of these cards, right?
So
that's what I've noticed.
And they said they were going to be doing that to ground units.
So let's talk about that. So let's go into meta. We've talked about this for a while. So meta, seems like this new next set is like a power boost, and I think they've talked about that. But it seems like
for ground units specifically.
For ground units specifically. So it seems like there's definitely gonna be a shakeup, like an actual true shakeup potentially with the set. I don't know. What do you think, Rob?
I mean, ground is already pretty strong, frankly. Like you look at who's winning right now, and it's Quinlan, it's Anakin, it's a lot of like 3/5 bodies. Throw them out in the field and make your opponent chew through that. So now we're just getting even cheaper 3/5s. So I think there's going to be a shift back to it's going to be one of two things. It's either going to be a shift back to like I wonder. I keep predicting control, but I wonder if we're going to get a shift back to hard control because like trying to chew through it with like those types of stat lines with just raw damage, it's not really efficient, and you end up kind of falling behind.
And it's not even like that they're cheaper. It's these 3/5s have abilities now, right? We have liberated slaves as 3/5, but does nothing, right?
Right.
Now we're getting 3/5s that are doing things as well that are interesting. And we had that before, obviously, with legendary Bobas and
but they were they were like higher rarity. That was usually the thing. It was like
now things are getting tougher to remove here, and things will stay on the board longer. It's gonna be real interesting. And this set, it's every time we get a new set, I'm so excited for. It's like this is gonna be the set that's like this is gonna be amazing.
Well, the other thing to kind of think about in regards to that is part of the reason that, like, for example, Quinlan's very strong is you get a bunch of 3/5s, but now coordinate is live. Like those bodies stay on a lot longer. So now suddenly you're hitting coordinates, and some of those coordinates that were like maybe borderline or you weren't sure that the unit was worth it now might actually be worth it because you're going to have those units that stay out for a long period of time, and then now you can start to hit those as well. The other thing I wanted to kind of point out, and I know this is going to make Gil happy, though this is a little bit jumping into the lore. If you look in the background on Ezra, there's some Purgles back there, baby.
With the creatures.
Yeah, we're going to get, I mean, they're going to be like a legendary, right? Like probably.
Legendary Purgle? I don't know.
Legendary Purgles. I mean, just in terms of rarity within the universe, it probably makes sense. But anyway, to bring it back to meta stuff, I was taking a looking at this weekend, and of course, I finally got to my locals recently. You look at the regional qualifiers. You look at the last 2 big tournaments, the one in France and the one in the US. I think it was the PQs these past weekends, and Quinlan, baby. I'm not shocked entirely by this. Well, it's Quinlan, and then the other one is Kira Datavault. And I think we're going to be seeing a lot more Datavault. So apparently, I was really wrong about that one. Shout out to Corey for accurately calling that Datavault was going to be pretty big. But it's interesting to see what's kind of happening right now. Again, you talked about it a little bit, Corey, but there's been a shift to like hero based. Or not hero based decks, but the hero decks are kind of winning right now, and it's Quinlan and Sabine's back. Hooray!
Yeah, and we had a Ray win.
Yeah, there was a Ray Datavault that won. So
that's part of it.
Yeah, so there's been a lot of shift to that, and it's interesting to see that specifically Datavault prevalence. Not so much with Colossus, because the 5 extra health, while it's great, the 5 starting cards, if you kind of brick on that, it's not great, and then it's also susceptible to hand destruction. But the 3 extra health is enough to get you to turn the corner with some of these slightly slower decks, which is really important. So that's why you're seeing Kira Datavault, which, Kira Green had been a thing, in set 2 and a little bit into set 3. But when Control kind of fell out of favor, she kind of disappeared, but she's back on the rise. And I think the big reason is Datavault keeps her live. And the only thing that you're doing, and this is the thing about, I think Datavault in general, is that really those 10 extra cards, what you're doing is putting in cards that might have been like side grade, but do the same thing. So, you're adding in extra removal spells. You're adding in extra units that, you might have, instead of having, 3 Vaders and 2 Mauls, or 2 Vaders and a Maul, you just go with 3 and 3, right? You're adding in cards that you kind of wanted anyway.
Yeah, the chance now you have better chances to get them.
Yeah, you have a better, exactly. And so you can, instead of having to run a 1 of or a 2 of because you wanted to keep it as close to 50 as possible, now, well, you got to go to 60, and so you're just adding those 3 ofs and 3 ofs, and so now there's more consistency in the deck in terms of that.
I think is viable now because we are at 4 sets, where like before we just added so many more cards. It makes it a little easier to find those equivalents in your deck and to kind of slot them in there. So it makes it easier to say, and makes it easier to kind of swallow that 10 extra card percentage.
Yeah. I'm even thinking about it in terms of like Kira Datavault. You're like, okay, cool. Like, I would only usually run Power of the Dark Side, but now I might run Power of the Dark Side and Merciless Contest in equal numbers, because they're effectively the same cost card. And if you're not playing units, the Merciless Contest is basically just Power of the Dark Side. So like you're getting a lot of those cards that you wanted. Again, you just wanted to have access to that might have been a little bit side grade. I think it's a win-win. And then seeing it on in decks like I've actually been seeing a lot of Luke 1 Datavault as well, and seeing Datavault with who's the other one?
Ray.
Well, yeah, Ray. Ray.
That's the one that won. And that the guy who was piloting that is on the McClunky Discord talking about it.
Yeah.
Yep.
I also think it did well at one, like Lil, right? Am I wrong?
It did. That's the thing is, I think they're pretty much doing the same thing. It's just a matter of do you want to increase your power as well as defending your units, or do you want to just kind of keep your units a little stickier with those shields? And so it's very similar decks, but I think Ray is a better one just because it also has that restore when she comes out, and she's real hard to get rid of. Yeah, I don't know. The other thing you mentioned, Colossus with Anakin, like the 2 decks, there was 2 Anakin blues in top 8 at France, which was 860 players, by the way. That was huge, the biggest SWU tournament yet. And both those were 30-point blue bases and not the Colossus, because they didn't want to have that
the hand
card
disadvantage.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. I was talking to one of our locals, Tyler, who's been playing Anakin Blue, and he was playing Anakin Blue Colossus initially. He's actually been toying around with going to Anakin Datavault, and there's actually some legs there. Like I think it's really interesting because you now have access to things like Dogfight, So you can like turn Anakin, like you can just have Anakin attack things and overwhelm again on the turn that he flips. You have access to like a lot of like interesting cards that now suddenly, you already had bravado, but now you got dogfight, now you got a couple other things, and like you're just swapping out some of the hard removal for just more utility with Anakin. And frankly, Anakin was your closer anyway, so making him more giving him more utility and opportunity to swing more is frankly kind of terrifying.
Yeah, I
I
think
don't.
the
Yeah,
deck that won France was a Sabine Data Vault, not a ECL, which
yeah.
was very surprising to a lot of people, I believe, right? And so
Yeah.
I could see because we talked when Anakin was coming out, I was like, oh, is Anakin gonna be faster than Sabine? Like we were talking about that. I remember thinking Anakin might be the better red hero unit guy because of what he's doing. And yeah, give him that little extra health there. It's pretty scary. Red green's a good combo in heroism, so I
Yep.
could see that being pretty strong.
Yeah, and like you don't have ECL, but you still have timely intervention. So like yes, okay, you're not playing Wrecker on 6 now, you're playing him on 7 if you're playing it from your hand. But Wrecker coming out, ready on 7 is still pretty strong. He's a 7/6 with overwhelm, so it's
It's
like,
so tough though. It's like
yeah.
60 card deck and you have 3 cards that you gotta find in that 60
No, I
card
know.
deck, and then you gotta hold it, and then and it's taking up a slot, right? So
Yeah.
it's
I
tough,
mean,
but I mean I would it's do you get it? It's awesome. So
yeah, I mean, and you can still just like have it be a because you can smuggle it, right? It costs 2 then, but
yeah.
So
it's
so do we think that do you think the meta is going to shift to like a pure data vault meta? I don't even
well, I mean,
if I could say that, let's say it like that. Is that what you think is going to happen?
yeah, I mean, I was honestly being like, can I do it with Han Green right now? And the answer is no, because you want specific combos with Han Green and dilute and like adding more cards in makes it.
Han 1 green, right? You're not talking about Han
Yeah,
2.
Han 1 Green, correct. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, Han 1
Cuz Han
Green.
2 green is pretty spicy too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean again, red green, we got red green heroism, so it's strong. I think it's the thing is it goes in waves here, right? Tarkin Town was everywhere. Tarkin Town, Tarkin Town, Tarkin Town.
And it's still
With
everywhere.
these beefier units, Tarkin Town's going away. I think people are going to have to move off of Tarkin Town because you have these bases that are giving you extra health. And now, what if you're going against Data Vault and you're in Tarkin Town, you have an 8 point difference that you have to overcome. That's tough. And now, if these units are coming out beefier than ever, and your Tarkin Town's not removing something that it should be removing, it just makes it there's no reason to do it at that point. So I think we will be moving away from Tarkin Town specifically, and
Well, and the
Data Vault
25,
is
yeah,
the 25 points. I think the ECL is still really good, but
it is.
the Data Vault one is a nice compromise because you're getting 3 extra health, and that 3 extra health is a lot more significant than you imagine because it messes with the math. Like we were so used to these round numbers, right? And so that 3 extra is really very much a factor for when people are playing and like trying to get these units out because a lot of the cards are not necessarily like, oh, all these things combo up to be a perfect 30 or 25 or whatever, but a lot of times your attack powers where they're ending and where it's like 29 or 32, it's like that's where
Yep.
like things are falling. And so it has been and saved me a bunch where I've hit 31, 32, and I was able to close out a game because of that. And those 10 cards, again, like you said, Rob, we're just adding cards that are doing similar things to the things we want. And so when we get them, it's like, okay, I can still do the thing I want to do, but not as well.
Exactly.
And it's not necessarily slowing me down as much. So Data
Yeah.
Vault's pretty interesting.
Yeah, I mean, and at its core, really what it means is because if you figure like, particularly when you're looking at like aggro decks, right? Like aggro decks want to drop a 3 attack thing on turn 1, on turn 2, like, and so on and so forth up the line. And when you were talking about a 30-point base, it was like, okay, I have to do 10 attacks. I have to hit 10 attacks to base to get there. Now you got to get to 11 attacks, and that one more doesn't sound like a lot, but it's not insignificant, and particularly against decks that like have restore. So I played a very grindy game, a couple grindy games actually last night, running Han One Green against against Luke Data Vault, and it's like if you get the right combo with Han, you'll run him through because it's so fast, right? But if you don't and you get into like a more grindy game, you're trading back and forth. Once those particularly those blue decks that start to get restored get to the table, and they just start chipping some of that health back, it adds more attacks that you got to put into there, and it can come down to, did I draw the right card at the right time? Because like Han can do it, right? Like Han can get there, between Han unit and like a couple other things that'll like strike you up to like 6 or 8 attack, but it takes a lot to get there, and if you don't get the right cards at the right time, you're hoping that you turn the corner.
Yep.
Yeah. No, I get it. I mean, at the end of the day, it's a lot of times one extra turn of 3 damage that and a game can change in one turn, like completely change in one turn. And the longer a game goes on, the harder it is for especially a more aggressive player to win, because now they've stabilized and they're controlling you at this point, like hard. I guess we will see. I mean, that's an interesting take, Corey, that we'll see less Tarkin Town. Is that your spicy take?
That's my spicy take. I think we'll see less Tarkin Towns. Yep.
Okay. And then Rob, what's your
with the Legends of the Force set.
With Legends? Okay, there's your caveat. Until next set, we're going to see.
That's what I was talking specifically. We're getting bigger bodies.
Okay.
With the bigger bodies, we'll be.
But
seeing less
for this meta, for this set, going into right before the Galactic Championship, Rob, do you think
we will have Legends of the Force?
Yeah.
Before,
it'll be like a month before.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Leading into
it. Before we even get to that, like there's a journey that we need to take. There's 2 month and a half.
The road to Galactic.
There's a month and a half of PQs that need to occur because people are going to be playing their buys. People are trying to get trying to win to get their buys, so they don't have to grind an entire day of games, right?
8, 9, 10 hours. Yeah.
Is the meta going to be Data Vault only heavy? Like, I don't know. What do you think?
I think until otherwise proven, you got to beat Quinlan.
Okay, Quinlan's your
guy. Okay.
Oh yeah, I think so. I think I think right now he's probably the strongest deck in the meta, and it's proving out to some extent. Like you look at his representation, you look at his top placements. He's always there. There's usually at least 2 of them. And sometimes it comes down to piloting, right? Like sometimes it comes to getting a good matchup or not.
Draw,
or draws, right? But I think Quinlan has a good match into most everything.
Yeah.
It's a Tarkin Town deck, so it's only 25, but he doesn't care.
Yeah.
Like it just like he goes so wide so fast and can control your board so well early that you can't keep up. So unless you have like the answers for it, I don't know if it's there. But what I think is interesting, and I think it's why we're seeing a rise in Kira. I do think Kira is a strong counter into Quinlan or like hard control. I think the problem is going to be is if Sabine, like that, and I think that's why you're seeing Kira instead of like say a Palpatine, right? Because Palpatine still just kind of loses to Sabine, but Kira has some game into Sabine at least. And if you go like the control route with her and then you've got Data Vault on top of it,
a real good Kira player shouldn't be losing to Sabines anymore, especially if you're not on ECL.
Oh no, I agree.
If you're on Data Vault, you should be winning those matchups like 90% of the time, like truly.
Yeah.
It's just too hard because they have we talked about earlier. They have Power of the Dark Side and then redundancy with Merciless Contest. They have Ground Sentinels. The only way, the true way to get underneath a Kira with a Sabine is you have to go space as fast as you can and just start whacking away, in my opinion, or get lucky enough to be able to pull off a Darksaber that like they haven't been able to remove. You know what I mean? So, okay. So again, it's 11 p.m. now, so we've been at this for a little bit. Last topic that I want to talk about is related to meta in some form or fashion, but it's about not giving up, right? I think that's the main topic. The final topic I want to talk about today, not giving up, and we'll talk about the competitive side of not giving up because that's where we are now. We're back in the PQ season. My personal experience is that I did very terribly at Richmond, and I did not play any side events, so I couldn't redeem myself with like those like I did in Milan, where I did really well in the side events. Um, and I was pretty depressed for at least a couple of days. I was like, oh man, I actually prepared. Like that's the thing. I usually don't really prepare for like competitions. Like I'll just play a handful of games, like the week of, and I'm like, let's see what happens. But I actually tried. Right, I actually tested against things. I did it, and I just did not do well at all. So there was a couple days where I was actually pretty frustrated at the game. I was playing Petronaki, and then I was like losing, like every friggin' game, and so I was in a very wonky headspace. So I kind of want to talk about how does someone overcome that, because at least for me, I ended up going to a planetary qualifier this past Sunday, and I did really well. Right, I got 5-2. And I X2'd. I was just out of the top 16. Some things went my way. I probably could have gone in the top 8. And that was 114 players. So I actually did. I think I got like 19th in terms of placement. So pretty good. Not the best, but pretty good.
Awesome.
But I didn't give up. I'm actually curious to know. Would talk about that with you guys. Like, have you ever, if you're open to talk about that, have you ever felt that way about the game?
Well, about this game specifically, no. But as a card player, that is definitely something that happens a lot.
Yeah.
And tilting is a thing, right? You start spiraling down a path and you just can't stop because you just need that. Unfortunately, so I'm a poker player and I play I used to play poker a lot. Like every week I was playing maybe 20 plus hours of poker easily. And in that game, but there's a lot of money on the line a lot of times, and so you can start tilting really fast, and then you just start like making bad plays, and you're not thinking about how you can do better. You're thinking about how you can recover what you've lost, right? And so in this game and in card games in general, when you start to lose, a lot that can get in your head, and you can start to think that everything that I'm doing is bad and wrong, and why am I even doing this? And to your point, like we shouldn't be giving up at that point. For me, what I need to do is take a step back. Like like you said, for a few days you were in a bad spot and you're playing Petronaki Arena and you were just like doing terribly and not having a good time. You need to kind of take a step back and look at it from a different angle, right? You can't continually to keep pushing, because instead of going the way you want to go, which is back to a better, clearer headspace, you're going deeper into that, darkness of bad gameplay, bad, moves, and then every time you make a play that's terrible, you're just kicking yourself, and you gotta let it go. You gotta be that goldfish where you're not letting that last play dictate the rest of your game, right?
Interesting. How about you, Rob? Does your sentiments reflect that as well?
Oh yeah, for sure. Like with this game, like I go through highs and lows for sure. Like I've been like on, I'd say probably like a low run recently, just because like we had talked we talked about it a lot. Like I had my deck, like I knew what I was playing, like I knew and it was just like I still kind of really haven't found my deck yet.
And now
and
FFG took it away from you.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm not mad about it. It wasn't healthy for the meta, but like I had the deck that I like to play, and I understood how to play it, and I was like, I'm all in on this, and I'm ready to go. And now I was I was winning. I knew my lines. I knew like that, and then now I'm back to kind of square one, and it's because I'm still trying to find it. Like I was joking around with Elemental Mike and the crew that I play with at Bearded on Tuesdays. And it's just like, yeah, I'm gonna be piloting this Han green deck really badly because I just don't know the lines, and it's like it's a good deck, but I just don't know it as well as I knew some of the other ones. And on top of it, Han 1 is very complicated, frankly. There's a lot of different things that you have to take into account when you resource, when you don't, and all that kind of stuff, and what you resource. So getting back to finding something that is fun because sometimes it feels like, man, I'm sitting here and I'm grinding at these games and I'm just losing and I'm losing and I'm losing and I'm losing and it just does not feel good. But I think it goes back to what I always kind of say about games, and specifically like it's related more to board games and whatnot. If you don't come to the table, you may want to come to the table to win, right? You want to play to win, but you shouldn't be coming to the table with that being your only goal in mind. You should the getting the joy out of like playing the game, win or lose. I think is something that you always just want to kind of keep in the back of your head. It's like
Find the fun.
yeah, exactly. Like because if you start to get into that, if I don't win, I'm not having a good time. Then I don't care how good you are, you're probably not going to have a good time a lot of the time.
Yeah, interesting. Okay, those are some interesting perspectives. I don't necessarily know if I actually feel necessarily the same way, but I think that's okay because like every person has their own different perspective, right, of how it gets approached. Because for me, it's not always actually about having fun. Like like I don't actually always play to have fun. I play because like I want to become technically proficient in something. You know what I mean? And winning is the thing that happens
The measure of that.
the measure of that. I actually get more
Mhm.
mad when I make bad plays. I'm like, I should not have made this mistake, right? And
Mhm.
I get more mad. I get more upset about
I
that,
could understand
you
that.
know.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And like I think for me, I can't goldfish. That's just not who I am. Like I will always remember like when something bad happens to me, right?
Mhm.
Um and I think for me the strategy that I've employed is that like I recognize when a situation is making me feel bad, right? Like and then I kind of like not talk myself through it. I'm just like, "Oh, okay. Now, why did it make me feel bad? It's because someone was mean to me. Like, was the opponent like
Yeah, dissect it. Yeah.
yeah, actually try to dissect a little bit more because then you get to the root of the problem, like that, and that's why I say like for me, it's actually not about winning; it's about not making mistakes, and that's only because I only came to that realization because I have reflected on why I was like depressed about certain things. Like, oh, I let
Mhm.
Mhm.
myself down, right? It wasn't
Yeah.
my deck, you know.
Right.
Um,
And yeah, you make
So
your
like you don't care
mistakes.
if you
Yeah.
lose as long as you play well
Mhm.
effectively.
Yeah, because I can't. For example, I lost against of the Vader Yellow deck. I can't be mad that I didn't draw a Bright Hope. Like that's not my fault. Like I could. There's physically nothing I could have done to stop that game because the thing I needed was this one card to stop space. That now if I had it in my hand and then I didn't play it, that would be a different story. Like I was like, and I think also for me, what I've also found in terms of how do I get over like this funk, like when
Mm.
you feel like you're about to give up, right? Talking to other people really helps, and like, so one thing I did is I didn't grind actually this past week. I didn't grind a lot of games. What I did was I did the quality over quantity approach, and I played games with people on the McClunky Discord. Not even like team members. Shout out to Smigatoni. He's playing Han One Green. He's going to planetary qualifier on the 10th in St. Louis. And so we did some training together. So I got some reps against Han One Green. He has no one to really. He didn't really have any competitive people to play with over there. So I did. We actually ran. We did best of three. We did multiple best of threes. We talked through the lines. I actually ended up talking with. I don't know if anyone's listened to Hannon's. He's also a content creator, or his name is Will, but his channel is called Hannon's. He's a really really good Sabine player, and so I actually talked to him for like almost like an hour about like Sabine, like this is the quality stuff that matters, and this is how I've decided to overcome it, knowing that my root problem is that like I don't like to make mistakes, right? um anyway,
Yeah,
that's my approach.
that's great too. Like I think like the goldfish thing is obviously you need to be learning from your mistakes. I don't want you to just be like, "Hey, forget everything and let's move to the next thing," and it's like it doesn't matter. No, obviously you want to learn from the mistakes if you can, but when you make mistakes, if you're not learning from, that's when it like really can
Yeah,
spiral because you're going to make the same mistakes over and over again. And
Mhm.
so as long as you're able to make learn from that, I think that that'll help. And like as you said, talking it through, talking about the things that are upsetting you or giving you issues and preventing you from continuing to playing the game, and that's really important because for me, like I want to continue to improve at the game. I don't want to just be like, oh, I'm just going to be here and never get better. I want to continue to get better at the game, get better understanding of what the game is. And I know a lot of the things that are preventing me from doing that is making similar mistakes. And it's like, why am I always making these same mistakes? And yeah, I don't want to give up and be like, oh, I'm just going to forget about this. I want to try to overcome that and be better at this game because it is something that is bringing me joy. So
Yeah. No, that's a good conversation. It's just one of those things that I think again, these are always the kind of topics I like to talk about at the end because everyone talks about meta, everyone talks about collection stuff. We do too, but it's there's other aspects of the game and other aspects of life that may or may not affect you, and affect your enjoyment of it. And selfishly, I want all of you guys to keep playing. So I need you all
more new players.
I need all you happy and ready to keep going, keep grinding the games out, so I can meet you at PQs. I can give you free stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there you go. Find Gil, Padawan Unlimited, and play some, get some bounties.
Yeah, collect those bounties. So I didn't add the showcase last during the PQ. I feel like that's like a galactic qualifier type thing. Like I'll put some showcases in there. You know what I mean? Like. But also I had a deck of 5 cards. I'm gonna add like a deck of like 100. So like you have to like search, like dig for it. You know what I mean? But also I think about
fun.
Yeah. So that was kind of heavy topic late at night. So we'll stop there. But I think some other final thoughts I had just in general was that like I did create the Patreon, but I haven't advertised it and I haven't published it yet. It's created. So think of the tiers and what other stuff we can do. So maybe we don't discuss that now, but like that's something that I know we need to discuss on our own. We have our own Discord now, kind of. I don't know, but we'll figure out if we want to publish that. It's mostly just for us to coordinate. So
there you go.
We'll see if it becomes official.
Let us know if you guys wanna have a space like that.
Yeah, comments, send an email, Gil with 1L at padawanunlimited.com. Let us know. Maybe we'll do a survey of some sort of what you guys what the listeners want to hear and what they want to talk about, or what kind of services they experience, like group experiences they want to have. Maybe I'll put that in. Maybe not this podcast, but like in the future, just so we get there, because we're at the point where like 300 avid listeners on a weekly basis, which is like a lot of people for podcasts specifically. I'm just like surprised at the number. It's like, oh my gosh, people listen to us.
Apparently, yes.
Apparently they do. You would never be able to tell it, but like, yeah. Anyway, so again, it's pretty late at night, guys. I appreciate your time. Appreciate you with your leading the segments. I appreciate you also it being a little more open about your personal experiences when it comes to just like being down on the game and like how you overcome it, like how do you get better. And I appreciate everyone else who's listening. Until next time, may the force be with you.
Would you rather?